a biblical parable. A group of Jews following their patriarch from a country where they had been persecuted to the land that Moses promised them. Sound familiar? Only it wasn't a land of milk and honey when they arrived. Far from it. It was a desolate area of sand dunes and arid wastes where thorns and thistles grew, and swamps bred mosquitoes and malaria. My father cleared this land of rocks with his bare hands and lived under the thumb of a benevolent but despotic overlord. There was even a plague of locusts. Much later, people compared Shoshana to Joan of Arc, but I think of her as Deborah, the warrior princess. And to complete the biblical allusions, I was named Leah. Remember the girl who stole her sister's lover? You might think it strange that I'm the one speaking to you, a minor actor unexpectedly thrust center stage. But the ways of the world are unfathomable, and destiny is a mystery that is concealed from us until the day we collide with it, and our eyes are finally opened to the significance of our lives. Chapter 1. Zichron Yaakov, 1910. The black-edged notice on page 2 of her Paul Hatzair caught Shoshana's attention. She took her foot off the treadle, put aside the muslin blouse she was sewing for her sister, picked up the newspaper, paused, and began to read aloud. Last Thursday morning at dawn, Miss Malka Reichman left her lodgings. When she did not return, the landlady knocked on her door, but no one answered. Worried about her young tenant, she let herself in and found this note on the bed. From a distance, life looks beautiful, but that's a cruel illusion. Reality bears no resemblance to what I imagined I'd find in Palestine, and I can't stop asking myself why I left my village and those I loved to come here. If only someone loved me. If anyone had touched my soul and understood it, I could bear my loneliness, but I feel so alone in a blackness that surrounds me. I could never kill myself on a bright sunny day, but this is a cold and grey morning, and the sea is rough. I am not afraid to die. I read somewhere that we come from eternity and return to eternity, that our individual life is only a moment of consciousness in eternal life, something we can only understand when we are dying. Perhaps that's when it will all become clear to me. Please tell my parents I died of malaria. It is assumed that Miss Reichman met her death in the sea. Her body has not been found. Her parents in Russia have been notified. Shoshana stopped reading, and the silence in the room was broken by her mother's sobs. Shoshana and Leah exchanged glances. "What a dreadful story," Leah said. "I could never kill myself." She turned to her sister. "Could you?" Shoshana looked pensive, but before she could reply, their mother broke in. "You can never tell what desperation might drive you to do." She wiped her eyes. "I can understand how that poor girl felt." The sisters looked at each other again. Batya was a strong, decisive woman who had an opinion about everything, but kept her feelings tightly knotted. Shoshana rose from the well-scrubbed wooden table and poured them tea from the silver samovar, one of the few belongings their mother had brought from Romania. Batya put down her glass and sighed. "That's exactly how I felt when I arrived here," she said with a faraway look. "You can't imagine how it feels to leave your familiar world behind and come to a desolate place in a foreign country. I cursed the moment I'd left my village. Imagine if you were suddenly transported to a wasteland where you had to start a new life." "But you didn't want to kill yourself, did you?"